record.
Okay, so are we all good, Joe? Yeah.
Yep, I'll deafen myself now to print reverb.
Cool.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we got there in the end.
I just realised I'm not wearing my goblin.
Oh dear. Oh, never
I
mind.
suck.
Oh well, it's all fine. So I thought what I would do, if it's okay with you and everyone else, is just give a bit of a news roundup for Moonstone first of all, so that people know where they are, and then we're going to keep an eye on the Moonstone chat channel for any questions that pop up, and we'll answer them as and when they do.
You know what? While you do that, I'm going to turn off my video and I'm going to put my thing on while you give people a talk.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, no worries. So, so I guess first thing we should probably talk about is the COVID-19 situation and how it affects Moonstone. We obviously, our production and assembly and distribution partner, TT Combat, have temporarily had to close their facility, as all places of work in the UK have at the moment. So we ran down and grabbed all of the stock that we had, and I posted up some pictures of that all in my spare bedroom yesterday. So everything that's on the website that's listed as available is available, and we can ship it out quickly. But once items are sold out, we're not going to be selling items that we don't physically have, because we don't know when they'll be coming back into stock. So anything that you can see on our website is available. If you want to buy something and it is out of stock, I would recommend a gift voucher, because the gift voucher is 10% off today. So if you buy a £50 gift voucher during this convention, it's only £45, and then when all of our new stock comes in very soon, as soon as the lockdown ends, then you can benefit from the discounts that we've got this weekend. Say that again. Can everyone still hear me?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I need these headphones. They're not actually doing anything. I've just been wearing them for no reason. So,
Back.
hello. So I might share my screen a second. Hey! I'm so glad we didn't see you changing. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen a sec and just talk about some of the upcoming releases that we've got coming on. So, can people see two dogs?
Yes.
Okay, step one. Okay, so
I can't see anything. Is there something I have to do to be able to watch?
if you look on Richie's name, there should be a button, like a red live next to him in the Moonstone voice channel. It should say live.
Oh, hold on a second. I think, Tom, on the stream, it's not showing the dogs.
What are people seeing on the stream? Just me and Richie still?
Yeah, I can see your two faces. Yeah.
Ah.
Hold
Okay.
on, give me a second.
Well, what I can perhaps do is put some.
Oh, I just had
Yep.
That was it.
that's just you. There we go.
Two
Oh, it
dogs.
stopped.
Right.
No, we had two dogs, now it stopped.
Okay.
No, it's just you for some reason. What about now? Let me see. It's still just you, Tom. Wow, this is professional right here. Oh, that is so annoying. It does it for a moment and then it stops.
Let's, instead of two dogs, how about I put a graphic of something we might actually want to see?
Oh, we have something now.
Oh, yeah, I saw those two witches box for a second.
Amazing. Right. There we go. Can everybody see that?
Yeah. Hunting horns.
Hey. So it's gone. Right. So can everybody still see hunting horns?
Yes, indeed.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So this is what I'm about to show now is the wave of releases that are all ready to go. Basically, they've all been mastered. So this is all of the packaging is done, and stat cards are all printed. All we're waiting for is for TT Combat to reopen so that they can continue with the production of the miniatures. So we've got Boris coming out, the Jackalope, Rybold. So we've got a few new goblins coming out. We've got the Witch in Time box set is about to come out. Hunting Horns, which is some new Commonwealth and Leschevault dual faction fawns. We've got Rule the Roost, our new Goblin King and his entourage, and we've got a new character being added to the Wild Things, which is the Wendigo. So I've actually got most of these. I'll just quickly share the sculpts views, which this one might be of interest to people. I've actually got the models. So if I stop sharing screen for a second, so we go back to a bigger version of the video.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, we've got some of the actual models here, which I can show. So this is our new selection of fawns. That's Jada, which is an unbelievably detailed model. Staggeringly beautiful model, actually. Might get that one printed large scale at some point. Then we got Hoff. These are kind of Native American kind of themed. Mr. Toodles, our hipster. With his little panpipe. This is the new one, which is taking the place of the Jackalope in the Wild Things box, the Wendigo. So you can see he's on all fours and comes on a 40mm base. And he's a spirit and a fawn. So he kind of bridges the gap between our Leschevault witches and our Leschevault fawns by kind of having synergies with both. A few other bits and pieces. We've got some of these new goblins. So I've started painting these recently. That's the Goblin King. We've got Rybold, which I know is one of Richie's favourites. Not quite painted yet, but very, very cool model.
When was that Goblin King miniature build?
He's going to be available as soon as lockdown ends. So as you can see, the model exists, it's mastered. The packaging has been delivered to the fulfillment agent. The stat cards are printed, he's been play tested. The only thing we're missing is just the resin facility to pump out the models. So it would have been launched by now. We would have ideally, we would have built up our stock and done our launch at Salute. That was the plan we were working to. So in a nutshell, as soon as the UK government allows people to go back to their places of business and the resin facility reopens, then we'll be putting them up for pre-order. But what I don't particularly want to do is put up a pre-order with kind of an unknown length of time when delivery will be. I want to build up some stocks before we do that.
And that's one of the problems we have. That it is literally how long is a piece of string.
Yeah. But there's tons of really, really cool stuff coming out, as you can see. Some of the Leschevault from the Kickstarter, but also some brand new things as well. So it's very frustrating. We're right on the cusp of some really, really exciting stuff. Some of the nicest models I think we've ever produced. I think the quality keeps going up and up in terms of the quality of the cast, but also the quality of the sculpts. It's a really exciting time. The other thing, which we'll have later on in the year, is we've got some new humans. So I'll share my screen again, if I can. So let's share this one. Share. Has that worked? You should be seeing dogs again.
We have dogs for time. Oops, we lost dogs, but keep going.
All right, let's see if you see anything. Do you see a human?
We see you.
You see me.
And oh wait, we had a human for a second. There we go.
There we go. So we've got a new box set of humans, which will be coming out later this year, kind of going back to our roots. So this is Sir Guillemot Poppycock. He comes in a box set called Administration of Justice, along with Old Calders and Sir Hogswash. No, sorry, he'll come with the Librarian. And then Sir Hogswash will probably be a monster box because it'll be quite a large model. And we've also got coming some Dominion humans. So we've got some work in progress art of, so this is Claudia Duval, who's a highwaywoman. We've got Creep, and we've got the Duchess. And this will be a box set called The Masquerade. So our Dominion humans are kind of our old creepy landed aristocracy, a bit vampire-y like. They used to have all the power in Torba before the Commonwealth uprising that took it away from them. So they're very bitter and twisted, and they've got kind of creepy undertones where they take your health off you and put it on their own people, and take your energy off you and put it on your own people. And we've also got coming up some human pirates. So we've just got our first human pirate drawn so far, which is Peggy. You can't quite make it out. I'm going to make some adjustments to this art so that the leg is a bit more visible, but she's got a peg leg, which is kind of melting into the background a little bit. And then we've also got this guy Creep, who's one of our Dominion humans coming along. So that's some really exciting stuff that's not for immediate release, but we'll see before the end of the year. I'll just stop sharing again. We're going back to the video. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that we're working frantically on our book 2, which is, I have to make it clear, it's not a new edition. The rules aren't changing. It's not a start over at all. It's an expansion. You know, I had to say that quite a few times. The rules are nothing is changing. There will be a whole load of new characters, a whole load of new narrative. All of the storyline is going to progress on. I think the narrative in book 1 kind of set the scene with lots of mini stories that gave you an introduction to the world. Whereas book 2, things are going to start picking up pace, and you're going to start discovering, you know, why the moonstones are growing and who wants them and what exactly is going on. And it's going to be really, really good from a narrative point of view.
Yeah.
It's also going to have campaign rules. So this has been the main bulk of the work from my perspective. Is I want a really, really awesome campaign system that fits with this style of game. And we've been playtesting now a couple of different ideas, and I think I'm honing in on the last campaign I ran. Playtest campaign was really good fun, but it was a bit too sneaky and savage. There was a bit too much opportunity to backstab and betray. So I'm going to do a new version, but it all revolves around the use of event and agenda cards and plotting and scheming outside of game night via text chat. Basically, you can support other people and scheme against them, and you get extra events and agenda cards, or have them taken off you to do with these plots and schemes that you're doing kind of in the background. We've got at least 10 new story scenarios, coming for book 2. And I've got the new cover art, and I'm that is so beautiful. But I think we're going to have to keep that one under wraps for now, because I know, I think I've done enough spoilers for one chat. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah, there is a slight Easter egg actually. In our vendor hall video, you'll see that the very first frame is a tiny part of the new cover art, because you can see there's a fairy in the undergrowth. So that's all in the works. I'm amazingly excited about this book too. It's going to be, we're going to more than double the number of characters. It's an opportunity for some expansion of some of the really crunchy parts of the rules, some of the really nitty-gritty things like timing flows and things like that. So there'll be no changes to the rules, but there will be kind of some real detail on this is how you deal with such and such situation that that comes up once in a blue moon, but it's still good to have precisely in writing for tournament play how you would deal with that kind of situation. Other cool stuff we've got going on in Moonstone world at the moment is the tabletop simulator. So we'll be doing another demo of that this afternoon if anyone wants to jump in and join. That's amazing. That's something that Richie and I have probably wanted for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And
it was 2 years ago and we tried to begin with.
And it obviously, with all of the millions of things that you need to do when you're running a small games company, it didn't ever quite bubble up to the top of the list. But with COVID, obviously the demand for it has gone up enormously, and it's just awesome seeing it in digital format and knowing that I can play games against Richie even though he's at the opposite end of the country, or my brother who lives in Australia, for example. Super excited about that. That's been put together by Dallas Fitzgerald, who's a player, top guy, amazing work that he's put into it. And just the last stage of development is at the moment the tabletop simulator is using the paper dolls, but we're in the process of loading in the 3D models, so you'll actually be able to kind of see the real sculpts in the game, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
And the final bit of news I wanted to share is we are very, very, very close to releasing a Moonstone app for iPhone and Android. So if I share my screen once again, hopefully that will work. We have dogs again.
We have dogs.
We have dogs. Okay, cool. So you can see that we
have a workflow.
We've got a workflow. Yeah, we've got a Moonstone app. So you can. It will support tournament and campaign mode, which will be awesome. But the initial release will just be the gameplay and compendium. So you can play online or offline games. If you play an online game, you will choose how many people are playing in it, and you get a code. You'll select your own troop, and then when you're in the game screen, whenever you adjust your health or your energy or the number of moonstones that you've got, it will automatically be synced with your opponent's app. So you can just look at your app and see exactly how much health and energy everyone's got. You can tap on the characters and get an immediate detailed view of their rules and what they do. So it's going to be really, really useful. Also, there'll be a card compendium. So you can just look at all the cards. You can flick through the different factions and then, browse when you're on the toilet or whatever. And decide what troops you want to build. So that's awesome, and then it's going to be really, really useful for us because we can start collecting data on what troops people are building, and particularly when the tournament play feature is added, we can see what troops people are building for tournaments and how well they're all doing, and make fine-tuning adjustments in theory to the balance of the game that way. So yeah, that's going to be coming out really, really soon. I think it's being done again. It's being done by a wonderful volunteer, Daniel Peacemaker Lane, who is one of the play testers in my campaign group, and yeah, he's done an absolutely amazing job. It's all working. It's just those UI elements just need to be dropped in, and then we're gonna put it on the App Store. So yeah, so that was a bit of a news roundup. I think now we will take questions. Yeah. If anyone is in the Moonstone voice channel or wants to post a question into the Moonstone chat. Doesn't sound like anyone has a question.
No. Let me have a look. We had me recently.
Have a look in the Moonstone chat. No, happy Easter all.
Yes, happy Easter. Let me see, have we got any questions of the last day? This is exhilarating stuff right now.
Well, I think maybe we should wrap up.
I think that's probably a good idea. There was something I saw earlier. It was yesterday. No, that's not.
I can see Howard 998 is typing. Lots of pressure, Howard 998. Oh, 2 people are typing now. Okay, this is exciting. We might have questions coming in. Can you discuss the Goblin Scheme program a bit? Yeah, perfect. So, so the Goblin Scheme, like other companies, is our advocate program. So, if you're interested in becoming a member of the Goblin Scheme, there's a page on our website with just bare bones information. But if you want to apply, best thing to do is email chiefgoblin@moonstonethegame.com, which is Dan Humphrey who's organising it, and he'll give you a real thorough kind of briefing and see if it's right for you. But in a nutshell, it's the people that are really interested in Moonstone and are keen to see it grow in their area. So we'll be when you're part of the scheme, you get access to all kinds of spoilers, basically, and you get to be involved sometimes in the creation process when we're in the middle of, designing a new character and you see arts that will sometimes be shared. You get store credit for running demo days and tournaments and play tests. So you get access to our playtest pack and all of the new stuff that's coming out, and you get store credit for helping us work on it, basically. So so it's a little bit of a secret society slightly. We have a secret group on Facebook where we chat, and but we're always on the lookout for anyone who's interested in joining and basically helping us make Moonstone a better game and promote it in their local area. So I just seen
one from Howard998 and then one from Will Von Doom.
Howard998. One thing that always helps me personally play games is playthrough vids. Are you going to do more? So I've posted a few links in Discord. We've got some kind of like how to play videos, but they're not full game playthroughs. I did go up to Goblin TV about 2 weeks ago and did a playthrough video with them. So we played through 2 turns. I had 2 of the members of Goblin TV playing a game with me directing. So I think that's going to be absolutely perfect for what you want. They haven't published that yet. We recorded 3 videos and they've published the first one, but they haven't published that full playthrough. The other thing I would recommend is there's Ye Olde Battle Reps have put together probably at least 20 battles now, and they're brilliant. They're really good. They've got a good editing style where they just kind of show the highlights. So I'll probably end up doing some more at some point, but as you can imagine, I'm kind of running from it in every direction. So although I'd love to do more of them, I think the Goblin TV one that's going to be published soon, which we'll link all over our socials, and the Ye Olde Battle Reps probably the best place to go at the moment. Are the new Human Masquerade characters the underground folks who eat the rotten flesh from the Leshavult book? That is a very good question. No, they're not.
I think I should take that.
Yeah, you can take it. Well, go on. It's a complicated answer. Yeah, go on, Rich. You can take that one.
It's never a straightforward thing. So the guys that you read by, firstly, what is the Leshavult book? For those watching, during our Kickstarter campaign, we had an add-on for a book that was called The Treasures and Tyrants of Torba. which is an explorer's handbook by, what was the guy's name, Tom?
Oh, Professor Percival Boffinsworth.
That's it. I love that guy.
And we'll probably make him as a character one day. He'll be a gnome with lots of like multiple glasses going down. Yeah.
And one of the things about the book was that at one point the character fell into like a sinkhole, which took him into an underground, sunken, caverny building hall thing. And in there he found a bunch of people who were being gross, to put it lightly. And without wanting to go into too much detail at this point, there is a connection between what was described as the Masquerade or the Dominion humans and those guys.
I can tell you're in agony at the moment because this was the big reveal that we're planning for book 3. So we're planning the development of the story, and it does all tie together. And you really get the history of Torbra is all going to be unraveling, and you'll see the link between these Dominion humans and the dead guys in the crypt, because they are linked through their history, but they're not necessarily part of the same faction.
And even the Lesher Vulture included as well.
And there may be a new faction by book 3, but you know, we got to get book 2 out first. So I've just seen. I'll go back up to a previous question. Tok Tamish has said book 2 ? So I'm not sure if she missed the first part where I was just giving some news, but book 2 is an expansion. So it'll be all new characters, campaign rules, clarifications. It is not a second edition. It does not in any way. Please understand, it is not a replacement for book 1. Book 1's not going anywhere.
Book 1.
Yeah. I don't know how we could. Maybe the name book 2 scares people. Maybe I don't know how else to call it. I think we were going to call it the Ascension, and it's an expansion. I don't know. We name is to be determined, but.
Uki Glanat says, will you be launching the Moonstone buildings once the UK reopens, along with the new models?
Yes, we will. The MDF buildings that were part of the Kickstarter will go up onto our web store as soon as production restarts.
They're made by TT Combat, the same people who do our casting, so it's all part of the same workflow.
That's right. And I would love at some point to develop the range of Moonstone buildings into some of the more quirky areas like fairy tree houses and you know, gnome cottages and things. But that would be resin, and that would be quite a big project for us to move into. So I don't think that's in the near. I
remember that there was talk with the owner of TT about a possibility of doing a season 2 at some point. You know, they're into it. So it's just a case of finding out what is the right thing to do.
Yeah. So definitely something we've got an eye on at the moment. So have I missed any questions?
Don't think so.
Yeah, expansion. Yeah, calling our new book an expansion. It's 100% an expansion. It is no way a replacement or a second edition. Cool. Somebody's typing. Ooh, give a sec. Our merfolk coming. Well, do you want to take that one, Rich, or me?
It's a bit of a awkward one, isn't it? Because
I'll take it. Yeah. So merfolk exist in the world of Torbra. They're part of the characters that exist in this land, part of the world that we've created. But will they be part of the tabletop skirmish game? Probably not, apart from maybe in a special scenario, because it's just too awkward to kind of explain how something with a tail and no legs is able to interact in a game all about digging up magic stones out of the ground. However, we are working on a role-play project at the moment, and in a role-play game, we don't have those kind of limitations. So we could well see them appear more frequently in the narrative and in alternate versions of the play. But we're unlikely to see maybe a limited edition special model in the far future for a scenario. But we probably won't be seeing them as a faction. We do have ideas for new factions, but not probably merfolk.
Yeah.
Wookie Gunner has said, sculpt a monster of a merfolk half in a giant fishbowl, have a goblin pushing it. I mean, that would be pretty damn awesome. that could well be, yeah, our 2022 show exclusive miniature right there.
Have you guys enjoyed the con so far? What's your favourite parts been, and what's each of your favourite sculpts that you've released?
I've enjoyed the con, absolutely. It's been really, really surprising how, I mean, it's Dan who's organised it. Has done an incredible job, very kind of forward thinking to realise that you could do this, because it does feel very much like a real convention. Yeah. Which is awesome. Favourite parts. Favourite part, I think, was getting to play, for me, I don't know about you, Richard, but getting to play with Tabletop Simulator.
Okay, I mean, that was a really good thing. For me, the main thing was, it's something that's always been in every convention, and that's just talking to the people and the customers and the fans.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Each of our favourite sculpts, that is so tough. You want to go with that? I mean, this guy right here is... I love my big guys, the giants and the trolls, and this guy is pretty damn awesome, but I would give you a different answer every day. I think maybe I'm answering with Rybold just because he's on my desk in front of me at the moment. But it's just so much character.
I'm torn between...
Sorry,
dogs.
That's the dog that you've been seeing on the screen this whole time.
I'm torn between some of the Lesser Bolts and the Goblin Pirates, but...
Did you see the live painting of Krusty yesterday, Richie?
Oh, I did, yes.
That is looking pretty awesome.
It was really good.
Can't wait to see that true punch. Les Cheval retail release. Sorry if it was already discussed. Yes, so the Les Cheval are coming soon. It's basically a production issue. So as you can imagine, all of the models are mastered. The rules, everything's produced. It's just a case of producing it in quantity, which we can't do because the production facility is currently closed. But yeah, it's coming really soon. We just can't give a date until we know what's going on in the world at the moment. But not just Les Cheval. We've got a whole bunch of... we will try and put a recording. We have been recording this. We'll try and put it up on YouTube and on Discord later. And if you go back, we've spoiled some art of some new releases that are coming, which is above and beyond the stuff that was in the Les Cheval Kickstarter. Yes, it's coming super soon, basically. Have you guys considered painting a painting tutorial series, either via yourselves or partners? The sculpts can be intimidating for a novice painter. I hadn't really considered that, I suppose. I do. One thing that's really great about working with Josh at the Mini Painting Studio, who we shared the stream of yesterday, is he's painting almost all of our Moonstone sculpts these days, between him and myself, actually. And he usually posts a video stream of himself painting, more than half of the Moonstone models that he paints. And I watch them and I learn an absolute ton. My whole painting style has improved dramatically through watching those streams. So that's Mini Painting Studio, Josh Davis or Davies. So if you look him up or jump onto the Moonstone Players group on Facebook or just ask on Discord, we'll post a link to his streams. But that's probably the best I think we can do on that front.
I mean, I'd be happy to do something similar, but I just don't think anybody wants to see anything of my work because it's nowhere as good.
There you go. Joe Parsons has very helpfully posted a link on the Moonstone chat to Mini Painting Studio. So if you follow that, you'll find probably about half a dozen or more Moonstone models being painted from their undercoat up to the final layers, and it's been, you know, really brilliant for me to watch and paint. And it, like I say, it's completely changed the way I approach miniatures. You know, the new techniques that I've learned through watching these videos as well are really fast. I used to find layering really quite tedious, and it was never for me. But these techniques turn it all completely on its head. So yeah, a lot more akin to using contrast paints. Although he doesn't use contrast paints, they're regular paints that are thinned, but very much building up detail, you know, light and shade in a separate process to adding the colour, and then adding the colour in glazes, which is, you know, fascinating to me, because I've always been taught to paint with, you know, you paint your dark colour, then your mid-tone, and then your highlight. And this doesn't work that way at all. So that's very interesting to watch if you get a chance.
Okay, do we have anything else? Not that I can see.
Oh, someone typing. Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for bearing with us with, if anyone was here at the start, we probably flapped around a bit trying to get the technology to work, but we got here in the end. So appreciate everybody bearing with us. This is, yeah, yeah. We should do another bloopers for YouTube.
No.
Yeah. So yeah.
However, the original was bloody funny.
It was quite funny. But yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for everyone who tuned in and asked questions, and hope that it's given you a bit more info on what we're up to and what's coming up in future. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Now, lunch.
Yeah. Bye.